anybody thinks that, oh my God, Miss Marmaduke is anti-Christian. Absolutely not. That's not what I said. What I said was that Christians resound with, more in the United States, the Republican Party, because they're accustomed to that. They're more comfortable with moral constraints in society as opposed to the economic restraints in society. So this is what we find, okay? So don't pin yourself down to any one party or the other. Don't let anybody tell you which party you are. You just need to explore it for yourself. Now, one of the ways that you can keep up with this, and really what I tell students from the beginning, democracy in the United States was one of the largest experiments of democracy ever. It wasn't considered a good form of democracy until we got a hold of it. And if you go back to ancient Greece, 2,500 years ago, where we got our ideas of democracy, they were not the same as what we know today. In fact, there were a lot less civilian rights or protections. Who was a citizen and who wasn't was restricted to the white male landowners and ignored everybody else. When we started this nation ourselves, when we came over and we colonized in the 1600s and the 1700s, by the time we were ready for independence, the first idea was written into law that it was white male landowners who could vote, and no one else could vote. So through the years, we worked, fought, people died, so that we had those rights in a free and equal society. Now, it being the largest democratic experiment, we will always have regional differences between us. And you can see those. We saw that come to a head, actually, in the Civil War in the 1860s. That's where we saw, we are so different. If we forget that we are all Americans, that we may speak differently, talk differently, dress differently, choose to live our lives differently, but in essence, we're all Americans. With the ideology quizzes, basically what it shows you is what you feel more comfortable with. Do you feel more comfortable with moral restraint in society? Maybe you like some moral restraint, but not maybe so much. Maybe you're one of those. I've had people that go so far left that they're almost off the grid, and that was another instructor, which made me laugh a lot because this particular instructor is actually a minister. But she's so far left off the field that it doesn't even register her, and that made me laugh. So, where are you on this grid? So look internationally at the ideologies. If you were face-to-face class, and maybe I'll come back and do this. I need a lot more room than what I have on my phone here. Maybe I'll go to the college. But I actually do, in my face-to-face classes, a lecture on democracy, how we got it, where it came from, how we got our leanings, the documents that we used in Europe to get us here, how we formed the Articles of Confederation, finding out that a confederacy doesn't work. Knowing that we needed a unified nation, we needed to all pull together. That's where we were more powerful. So we kind of go through that, and you see the ideologies that influenced that, and a lot of it had to do with some of the questions that I just asked you in this political compass quiz. So congratulations. If you were one of those students that said, wow, I had no idea I was this way, but you know what, I'm going to try and research it more and see exactly, what I need to do about that. Good job. That's probably one of the hardest things to do, is acknowledge where you actually are and accept that, and vote accordingly. Many of you moderates out there, I'm so proud of you. The moderates are what make democracy work. If you're a moderate, it means that you are the ones who are willing to compromise in order for the greater good. What we see too much of right now in our own political party situation is no compromise whatsoever. That just because you are of the other party, we're not even going to listen to you. We're not going to do anything you ask. My brother lives about 10 blocks from the White House, and I talk to him a lot. And basically he says the story that you get in the news about the White House and what's going on is nothing compared to if you just come here. And, whereas before there was a park my brother used to go to feed the squirrels in that was about a block from the White House, that's been blocked off. Nobody can go near the White House. The tours are kept to a minimum. Who comes in and who goes out. It's really strange. I was up there about last October, and it feels a little more tense than it normally does. So in order for us to get to a place to where our democracy works, like American democracy should, we have to remember that compromise is essential. That you can't just put your foot down and say, it's my way or the highway. I'm not going to accept anything less than this. You have to look at both sides. That's part of log rolling you're going to see when you get to your study of political participation, and you're going to be looking at political parties, and you're going to be looking at interest groups, which would be very interesting. You're going to see sort of how that rolls. So if you like these videos, let me know. And I will post a few more sporadically throughout the semester as we're coming across these subjects to sort of help tie it in for you. And if you ever have any questions, just ask me, okay? I don't mind answering anyone's questions. In fact, I want you to understand the basis of government itself. If there is ever a time when people need to know how this system works and what's going on, it's now. We've had these times before. We thought we were past that. We thought with Andrew Jackson and Andrew Johnson we'd learned our lesson. Apparently not. So, it's important. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great evening, and I look forward to your comments.